Hello, everybody. Okay, there have been some YouTube glitches, and that is all good. So I wanted to make this live stream today to help you, to help me, to help us feel calm in the middle of a stressful situation. So in today's live stream, I'm going to be sharing a story with you that actually happened a few days ago, and an instant calm technique, a calming technique that you can use, like if you're ever in a stressful situation, or you have a client who's in a stressful situation, or just a loved one who is going through something. This technique is going to help, and you can definitely share this with somebody who is going through a stressful time. Okay, so I was just recently, or for those of you who are new, let me just share with you that I make videos to help you shift your energetic challenges, to really raise your frequency and go out into the world and confidently share your voice, share your soul purpose with the world. And a lot of that has to do with breaking through the blocks that are subconscious, or the blocks that are just repetitive, that have held us back for year after year after year. And these videos are very simple solutions that you can apply every single day to shift your energy and change your life. And this particular thing I'm going to share with you came in so useful, not just the other day, but every day of my life. It's something I use daily. And what happened was, I have been traveling. So I was traveling to this new place, and I had been traveling all day. And I landed in the airport. And as soon as I landed in the airport, it was late at night. It was 10 o'clock at night. And I rented a Turo. If you guys know what Turo is, it's the first time I've ever used a Turo to rent a car. Turo is basically like the Airbnb of rental cars. So I land, I have no idea how it really works. I walk outside, the guy is right there with my car. It was super easy. It was awesome. He was fantastic. We're walking around the car, just making sure that everything looks good, taking a few pictures to, just for insurance purposes. And the car was already running. So I asked him a couple questions about the area, and very sweet guy. And I jump in the car and I'm off. And I drive about 30 minutes to my Airbnb. Now, mind you, it's 10:30 at night. And I realize that I need water. I'm like, oh, wait, I'm a few minutes from my Airbnb and I need some water. I have no idea if there's water in the place. So I stop in a gas station and I pull my car up and I press the button to turn the car off. And that's when I realize that I don't have the key to the car. The car was running. I drove the car. The car was already on. The key is not in the car. So I have no way of turning the car back on. It's 11 o'clock at night at this point, and I'm just kind of stunned and tired from the travels, and I have no idea where I am. And I'm in a completely new place. And my heart, starts to beat. I'm just like, oh my God, what do I do? So I open up the app. I don't have this guy's number who owns the car. So I open up the app and I send him a message through there, praying, hoping that he's going to get it this late at night. And he happens to live an hour outside in a totally different state, in another state. So I'm sitting in the car going, oh my God, it's, the last thing you want to deal with when you've been traveling all day. I'm a few minutes away, from my Airbnb, and my mind starts going to all these fear-based scenarios. But I stay on point, and I'm like, V, just get practical. What do we need to do to get the car key or get home or whatever it is? So I go into the gas station, I buy some water, I come back into the car, I look at Turo, I look at the messages, nothing. The guy has not replied. He hasn't gotten the messages. So I'm sitting in the car thinking of, what do? I don't have the key. How do I get out of this situation? I'm exhausted. How do I get home? How do I get to sleep? And I realize my only solution is to leave the car where it is, right at the gas station with the doors open, no keys, and take a Uber or something, a Lyft over to the Airbnb. So I look up Lyfts, I look up Ubers, and no one's available. It's 11, now it's like 11:15, 11:20, 11:30 at night. No one is available to give me a ride, up the mountain to where I was staying. So I keep sending the guy messages on Turo. I'm like, I'm stranded at a gas station in the car. Can you please help? And nothing. I don't hear anything. So then I realize, okay, let me see if they have taxis. And I call the taxi company and boom, they have a taxi for me. So the taxi is going to be there in about 20 minutes. I'm waiting for the taxi. And by then I've gone into the gas station several times. So I go in this last time into the gas station and I explain to the guy, look, I might need to leave my car here because I don't have the key. And all I can say is the man was so kind and people were so loving and supportive in the gas station that it completely shifted everything. That was one plus. And he was like, no worries. I promise your car won't get towed. Keep it here in the gas station. So I get in the car and I check Turo one more time. I check the messages one more time and boom, the guy has responded. It's an hour later. He's already home. And he's like, oh no. He's like, if I get in the car right now and I head over to you, I can be there in just over an hour. Are you okay with that? And I can bring you the key. And I say, of course, absolutely. I cancel the taxi. Whew, everything's good. I sit in the car and now I have a plan. I'm feeling the stress now. And the interesting thing is I'm sitting in the car and I have an hour now to just sit there and my nervous system is going off. And I'm sharing this example with you because we've all had these small or big experiences where something legitimately happens in your life to stress you out or to make your nervous system go haywire or to put you in a fear state. And that's part of being human. So it's not about getting rid of that. It's simply part of life. And I noticed as I was sitting there, my mind started going into major fear thoughts. Like, I'm here alone in the gas station. The guy just closed the gas station. It's totally dark, blah, 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 blah. Like all of these different ideas and thoughts started to flood through my mind once I was sitting there and still. And I remembered somebody I had just been talking to on my travels was really putting some fear thoughts into my mind about the future of America, the future of the world, really dark stuff. And I had been talking with him and listening. And I didn't realize that subconsciously my mind was suddenly going to this really grim future, like dark, fearful thoughts. And that's when I realized that my mind was completely away from the present moment and stuck in a future fantasy that wasn't even real. So this is the key distinction where you can literally pivot to a place of calm in any single moment. And this I got from my teacher, Leonard Jacobson, which is incredibly helpful. Okay. And it's really about recognizing the major distinction. It's what I refer to as the foundational distinction. And this is something we have in any moment to just flip the switch, literally like bing, from stress to calm, okay? From fear to ease and trust. And this foundational distinction is simply migrating from the fear of the past and future to the calm of the present moment. Okay. You guys have heard me talk about this 1,000 times. There's past, there's future. This is what we call the storyline. This is Veronica going through her story. She just got to the airport, or she was in the airport an hour ago, and then she's headed to the Airbnb in the future, and all of the future fears that the guy was talking about on the plane about the future of America and blah, blah, blah. That's all story. That's all timeline. Lifeline, where we actually are always plugged into energy, life force, inspiration, high frequency, well-being, peace, trust, wholeness, love, connection, will never, ever be found on the timeline. It's not actually possible. Actually living on the timeline, which is really living in the mind, is what will continuously drain the energy. So all that overthinking is what exhausts most people. And that's what started to happen to me. So this is how I shifted this very simple tool, how I made the distinction first between, I'm here stuck on the timeline, thinking about the future, worrying about this, that, and the other, instead of as soon as I made the distinction, I was able to drop into the lifeline, which is the present moment. And the present moment, the question I ask myself in the present moment is, and this is the on-demand, calm, peace, ease, all the things we choose for ourselves. This simple question: am I safe right now? Am I safe right now? I don't mean a second from now. I don't mean an hour or 10 years from now. Am I safe right now? I don't mean yesterday or in my childhood. I mean right now. So I'm in the BMW. I have the water I just bought from the gas station. It's right next to me. I'm safe. The doors are locked. I'm in the car. Nothing chaotic is going on outside of the car. I'm simply in a very safe moment, but my mind was abusing me with fearful thoughts about the past and future. And you guys have often heard me say, there are no enemies and there are no saviors. There are only thoughts that either heal us or hurt us. And my thoughts were taking me to a hurtful place. They were taking me to the past, to the futures. And it was hurtful because notice what that was doing to my nervous system. Notice what all that fear and worry and stressful thinking was doing to my body. My body was shaky. I was really nervous and worried. And then as I stayed in that timeline, it was accelerating. The anxiety got higher. My body got even more traumatized because those thoughts were hurting me. Now, this is a really important distinction because if you can in an instant determine whether you are lost in the mind, past, future, or you are awake in the present moment, if you can distinguish between those two worlds, which is what Leonard Jacobson has taught me so powerfully, is you got to be a master, is what he says. You have to be able to distinguish between the world of the illusion, the past and future, and the world of truth, the now, the present moment. And it's about over and over and over again, bringing ourselves back to the present moment. So this is what I did. I asked myself this question: am I safe right now? Am I safe right now? And by the way, I did this for years before I got out of bed in the morning when I was overcoming anxiety and in a really stressful time in my life. I remember waking up one morning and literally my eyes popping open and my mind was immediately gone. It was like into the future and all the fear about what was coming and what I was going to have to do in the day to come. And was I going to be able to handle it and manage it all? And then it was like a light switch one day. I'll never forget. I asked myself the question, am I safe right now? And I was in bed, roof over my head, food in the refrigerator, water next to me on my bedside, and I had my hands on my chest. And that's when the first time I think I really remember distinguishing between the present safety and the chaotic past future. So in that moment in the car, what I did is I asked myself the question, am I safe right now? And the answer was yes, 100% yes. I placed my hands on my chest and I thought, wow, I have an hour now. He's going to be here in an hour. I can just be here. I can practice shine time. I have other videos on that, or grab the gift below about the energetic blocks in the description, where I give you a workshop to guide you through all this. But I just practiced shine time, and tears actually started to come up for about 20, 30 seconds. I shed some tears because my mind was going into stories like, why does it have to be so hard? Nobody is here for me. All these old, outdated stories, because I was in a stress, anxious state, started to come in because I was in a vulnerable state. And so it was important to just feel that for a moment, not think about it, but feel it. My body cried for 20, 30 seconds. And I just whispered to myself, I love you, sweetheart. I'm here with you. I'm not leaving, which is another powerful technique, hands on the body. That immediately lowers cortisol levels, stress levels, because our body is a mammal's body, which responds to physical touch, even our touch. That will lower stress instantly. And as I felt my own presence, as I felt my own safety and the tears shed, now I was available to the present moment. And that's when I started to dial into the magic of this new place I had just arrived in. I have 10 days in this brand new place, like how magical. And I basically did my mantra, enjoyed my time in the car. The guy arrived and he was so apologetic. He said, "Oh my God, in my 250 cars that I have rented, this has never happened." He said, "I've never, ever, ever not given someone the key. I'm so sorry." And I said, "We're human. It happens. Like, thank you so much for driving out here this late at night." It was basically a 4-hour drive for him, like back and forth twice. And, or yeah, 3-hour drive for him all in all. So all in all, to say the distinction for me, to know if I'm in the present moment or if I'm in the past future, is, am I thinking or am I feeling? That's like a very simple way. So once I got in the car and I laid there with myself, I was feeling into my body rather than thinking about what the guy on the plane was telling me and what all this other stuff was. I just was sitting here feeling into my own body. And that's when the tears started to shed. You got to feel it to release it and let it go. So I wasn't thinking about it. Another distinction is, am I breathing or am I blaming? Am I blaming this guy or am I breathing into the moment? Okay. Blame would be mind. That would take me right into a limited story. And breathing took me right into the lifeline. So anytime we need life, we breathe, right? Anytime we need life to plug into energy, we feel, we allow ourselves to cry if we need to cry. We laugh, we dance, we, have like a roar if we need to, or let yourself shake. Whatever needs to be felt is your direct portal into opening the socket and the plug, right? Because oftentimes repressed emotion is like a blockage between ourselves and life force. It's like, because we're so cramped up in the head trying to avoid feelings, so we tend to overthink, and we're addicted to thinking as a human culture mostly because we don't want to feel, because it seems dangerous, because we've been taught not to feel. So I hope that this distinction really helps you to just notice, even right now, are you present with me? Are you simply hearing my voice? Are you aware of the birds or the lighting coming through your windows, or the heat or the coolness of your body? Or are you in your mind thinking about what you think of me, or judging me, or, or on your phone and multitasking? There's no right or wrong in any of this. It's just when we can make the distinction, we're free. Okay, it's like the foundational distinction, because when we have that foundation of a wakefulness, like, then we can never get lost again. Because as soon as we get lost, which basically means past future, then it's like, oh, I'm in the past future, no problem. And we need to live there sometimes, because we do live in a story, but no problem. Now I can just come back and find myself and be home in this moment, breathing, feel what I feel, be present with something that's physically here. Okay. And ask yourself the question again and again, am I safe right now? Now you might be struggling with something like, but I have to pay my rent in 2 weeks and I have no idea how I'm going to pay it. Or I have a physical condition and I'm okay right now. I'm breathing right now. But what happens if I get sicker later? And I totally get that. And those are things that we definitely need to tend to. And I'll look at your comments in a moment. They're definitely things that we get to tend to, but a small percentage of the day, whereas most of humanity is 100% of the day lost in fearful thinking. So how often are you willing to just drop into, am I safe right now? Am I safe right now? Breathe into the safety and or if safe doesn't resonate for you, it could be, am I okay right now? Am I okay right now? And some of the mantras I really like is, it's safe for me to breathe. It's safe for me to be fully here. It's safe for me to be all that I am. It's safe for me to put myself first. Recently, the one I've been loving is, it's safe for me to treat myself like a queen or a king. Okay. So these are kind of the ways, some ways to on demand go from the stress of a stressful story of time, past, future, to the peace and ease that's always available to us on the lifeline. And I'll complete with this. Leonard Jacobson often says something really powerful, and it's that the present moment never leaves. It can't leave. It never leaves. It is always here. We leave. We leave by going into our heads, overthinking past, future, totally escaping the beloved, what I believe is the beloved, like God, source, loving intelligence, the body of God, so to speak, whatever word works for you. We leave, we abandon, we betray by going into our minds, but the present moment is always patiently here, waiting to be seen, to be loved, to be acknowledged, to be appreciated. So what are you grateful for in your life right now in this moment? Let's take a deep, deep, deep breath in and exhale it out. Beautiful. 2 more just like that. Taking a deep breath in, breathing in, sweeping clean any of the stress from the past, worry about the future, and exhale out, dropping into the moment. And 1 more just like that. Inhaling deeply in and exhaling out. Okay, you guys. Oh, Mandy is here, my love. I was just thinking of you. I have something so special of yours. Anyway, that you gave us at the retreat in London. I love you. Kim is here. Hi. The question feels good. It really does feel good. You are so welcome. How can introverted empaths who are living in dysfunctional family environments with no financial independence and made to be young caregivers be relieved of stress? Oh my goodness, Roshni. That is such a good question that I am screenshotting it. So just to start, I might speak to this in a future video. But number one, it really starts with compassion, because you're in a situation or a client, whoever this is, who's going through this, in the middle of a dysfunctional family environment. It's like all the trigger buttons are constantly being pressed. Ram Dass said, your family, like, I forget how he says it, but something like, if you ever think you're enlightened, go home and hang out with your family. Because they're bound to trigger you and hit your trigger buttons, because they're the ones who installed them. They're the ones who installed your trigger buttons. So part of it is that. And if you don't have the financial independence, this is why I've become, over the last few years, very passionate about empowering healers, coaches, empaths, creatives to become financially independent, to raise their financial frequency. It's a lot of what we do in the dojo, is helping people to get visible, to find their message, to share their voice, so that they can actually grow their audience and make the impact they're here to make, and also be financially sovereign. It's extremely important. And I would, obviously that's a journey, and I would ask myself, are you open to realizing that you have so much value inside, and you are such a powerful creator, that you can become. If I could go through what I went through in my past, from rock bottom, from absolutely nothing, and I'm talking nothing, to building a thriving business, certifying coaches and working with my clients, and just having an incredible life's work that I love, and being financially sovereign, so can you, as a highly sensitive, empathic person. It's a choice, though. It's about choosing. So part of it is that. Secondly is never miss out on the opportunity for what is being presented to you right now, because in this very stressful situation, I imagine your soul is going through a soul curriculum. You're learning certain lessons that you could not otherwise learn without being in this like pressure cooker of sorts, or really challenging experience. So I would ask myself that question. What is my soul learning through this experience? What is my soul learning through this challenge and this struggle of living under the same roof with my dysfunctional family, and having no purchasing power to even get myself out of the situation? So this is like a soul setup to ensure that a certain lesson is learned. Is it patience? Is it boundaries? Is it perseverance? Is it trust? Is it self-love? Is it self-acceptance? Is it feeling safe even in unsafe circumstances, or seemingly unsafe? So that's where I would start. And I would also ask you, like, from scale of 1 to 10, where is your self-care? And if your self-care is really low, what is the story you're telling yourself about that? Caregivers often believe especially empaths, highly caring people, that they have to help everyone outside of them before they get to help themselves. And it is a trick of the mind. It is a lie. It does not work. And it actually, eventually what happens is we run dry if we are putting others first, the people we're caring for, because our cups run dry, then we can't even help them. And then oftentimes caregivers will get sick because they haven't actually put the horse in front of the cart, which is put yourself first, overflow with good energy, and serve from the overflow rather than the undertow. So that might be something you're working out as well. Are you open to realizing the most generous thing you can do is put yourself first, to take really good care of yourself, to lift your self-care to at least a point or two higher over this week and weekend? What is it going to take for you to do that? Hello, Jenny. Hey, Dale. All right, you guys. Mandy, I'm going to use that one. It's safe for me to breathe whenever I hold it in because of stress at work. Exactly. It's safe for me to breathe. And interestingly enough, that can tend to relax the nervous system of the people around you, whether they are aware of it or not. And that can actually influence the space around you. Jenny, this is so helpful. All day today, I found myself in the stressful story and holding my breath. I notice a theme here, you guys, which would make me feel more anxious. I will use this. Awesome. I think if we just all put our attention on our breath right now and more throughout the day, even just a few minutes a day, it will create a whole new world, a revolution. It's really simple because you can't actually overthink and breathe deeply at the same time. Try it. Whenever you're caught in overthinking, as soon as you take a breath, the thoughts cease. Mm-hmm. Exactly. The tree, Mandy, and your note that you wove anyway, I have the whole thing and it's just so incredibly beautiful. You are beautiful. Mary, hey, I hope you're having a wonderful day. Thank you. Judy's here. I've heard we are born into families so we can learn to love people we don't like. That is great. That's powerful. To learn to love all, right? Very powerful. I've never heard that before. I came out of hiding today in the dojo. Yay, Kim. Judy, you did too. And I'm just so blown away by you guys. Just one of my greatest joys is seeing incredibly big-hearted souls. Here's my theory. Many of us who have softer voices are more empathic, highly sensitive, deeply caring, creative, all these things, free-spirited, who tend to hold back our voices. My theory is that the shift that needs to happen in our world is actually buried in the souls of many highly sensitive, empathic, caregiving, heart-centered people. So one of my greatest joys is and gifts is seeing and helping somebody just find the confidence to be who they really are and share themselves and share the value that's within themselves. So we just saw Judy have a breakthrough the other day. Kim, I haven't been in the dojo yet. I'm going to go in there now. And if you guys don't know what the membership is, you can go to thediamonddojo.com to join us. But I love that you came out of hiding today. I can't wait to see your video. All right, you guys. So Mandy, I love you. I love each of you so, so much. If you got something from this video or this live stream, let's take a deep breath, receive whatever you did get from this live stream, and give it a thumbs up if that resonates for you. Michelle, been a tough day. Then I get the alert you were doing this live. Meant to be. No coincidences. Thank you so much, Michelle, and thank each of you. This community is just the best community in the whole world. And I feel so grateful, so, so grateful for each of you. For those of you who are new here, you can hit the subscribe button. I make videos and oftentimes live streams on Tuesdays. And make sure to grab the gift below where I give a free workshop on how to clear your energetic blocks. And basically you get 3 videos. It's a 3-part series and a guided meditation. It's a whole kit to help you learn how to command your frequency so you feel good no matter who you're with or what's happening around you. All right, my friends, all of my love, and I will see you next Saturday, or not Saturday. That's the Saturday Authenticity Circle in the dojo. I will see you guys Tuesday. All right. Bye.